mills continue to irresponsibly breed millions of dogs in horrific conditions just to make a buck. It is time to stand up for man's best friend and make sure that each and every animal gets the warm, loving home it deserves. Joining me now, along with my little one, Wayne Pacelli, Chief Executive Officer of the Humane Society of the United States. Carol Davis, actress and animal advocate and author of The Diary of Jinky, Dog of a Hollywood Wife, and Bill Smith, the founder of Mainline Animal Rescue. Carol, I want to start with you because you and I, full disclosure, we've been on the protest lines together against the puppy mills. Very few people who buy a dog actually see where that dog comes from. They're often told this fairy tale of, oh, the mama dog is playing knee-deep in grass at some farm. Describe what's really going on when it comes to these puppy mills.
Well, I think what's happening is that people are buying dogs on internet websites that are completely phony, and people are going into pet shops for a convenience, like they're buying some kind of a pocketbook or something. When the actuality is that there is a deliberate, deliberate hiding of the facts. What's going on really is that the breeding dogs are in a canine supermax prison. What the people don't ask when they go into the puppy store is, where is that puppy's mommy? It's being held in a cage for the rest of its life, and it's bred and it's bred and it's bred until it's dead. It's really sad. They're horrendous conditions, and we wish that people would ask the very tough questions instead of looking at it just as a luxury item that you walk into a store and buy.
Wayne Pacelli, you are the Chief Executive Officer of the Humane Society of the United States. How big is the problem? How many animals are getting killed in shelters, and how many hundreds of thousands of animals are these breeders breeding nevertheless, even though every time they breed a dog, another dog gets put to a shelter?
Well, Jane, you framed it perfectly at the beginning of the show. 6 to 8 million animals are coming into animal shelters, private humane societies and SPCAs, as well as public animal care and control agencies, and half of them are not getting out alive. At the same time, we have perhaps 10,000 puppy mills in this country. Missouri is the puppy mill capital of the country, but Oklahoma and Kansas, other Midwestern states are big. Bill Smith on the show, who you'll be hearing from more here. He led a fight in Pennsylvania to get a great puppy mill law, and Carol was fighting puppy mills in Los Angeles with you and others. So progress is being made, but we've got a lot more work to do to stop these puppy mills. Too many dogs are being produced when there are too few homes for the animals in shelters.
Well, Bill Smith, you've been on the front lines. You have actually experienced before and after with these dogs. I believe one of the dogs' names is Shrimp. Tell me the story of a typical dog in the puppy mill, and then once you get it out.
We pick them up every week. The farmers call us, the Amish communities, Mennonite communities of Pennsylvania. 95% of the breeders that we deal with are Amish, are either Amish or Mennonite. When we go out to pick up these dogs, most of them are malnourished. They're living in rabbit hutches stacked to the ceiling, standing on wire, rusted wire, no water, ulcers in their eyes. They perform their own cesarean sections, which is legal in Pennsylvania. They debark them with pipes to break their vocal cords, so their neighbors don't know that they have 700 dogs living in their barn. Most of the dogs that we pick up are not properly socialized. We have a program at our shelter that rehabilitates these animals. Sometimes it takes days, sometimes it takes months. A few of them we've actually had for years. They're just not treated very well. I mean, that's an understatement to say that they're not treated well.
Look at the pictures we're looking at, and it's all preventable, Carol. I mean,
it really is.
Look, some people say, oh, I want to get a dog from a breeder because I have a daughter or I have a son, I want it to be healthy. This is such nonsense. This little guy, this little girl that I got, hey, baby, she is a rescue dog. She's healthy, she's smart, she's well-behaved. She is probably healthier than the average dog that comes from a breeding facility, correct? Carol?
That's absolutely right. What a lot of people don't know is that the dog that you would spend $1,000 for or $2,000 or $3,000 for, it might get abandoned and end up in our shelter system. So there are dogs like this one, who is my dog, Lammy, who I got out of the Los Angeles shelter, who might very well have been a puppy mill dog. This is what people don't know. So what I'm telling people now is, you know the $1,000 that you would have spent buying a dog that is from a puppy mill in a pet store or on an internet website that's phony? Take that money, give it to a family in need, okay? And then go to the shelter, relieve the city's municipal shelters, get a dog, save that dog's life, and it's a win-win for everyone. And I promise you that a shelter dog is so grateful, and a rescue dog's kisses are so sweet.
Yeah, and you know, Wayne Pacelli, we have to always follow the money, don't we? Because a lot of breeders say, you know, we care about animals. But one thing all of us have in common, we have never sold an animal for profit. One thing all the breeders have in common is that they sell animals to make money. Follow the money, right, Wayne?
Well, and they deceive people, frankly. You know, we just released the results of an investigation to Petland, which is essentially the largest commercial seller of puppies in the country. Their store operators tell folks, we don't get dogs from puppy mills, but we at the HSUS did a 9-month investigation that showed that's precisely where they were coming from. Dogs from these facilities also that were being sold at Petland came from puppy mills with U.S. Department of Agriculture violations. But even more than that, you look at these places, and we went to them with our undercover investigators. These are puppy mills. These are factory farms for dogs, where the dogs are just seen as a cash crop. They're churning them out. They're not playing with them. They're not socializing them. They're not giving them proper vet care. It's just the wrong, you know, it's just the wrong way to handle these animals, and we all need to be part of the solution. Get dogs from shelters and breed rescue groups, not from these pet stores.
This is a consumer problem. They continue to buy dogs. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday, a couple of days ago, who said, you know, my dog has papers, and was bragging to me about the papers. Like, I didn't want to say it, but I'm thinking, what a moron, you know?
We have a drawer full of papers back at our shelter, and that's the biggest joke that these people are pulling on the consumers and uninformed consumer. They add $300 to the price of the dog, and they're worthless. They're absolutely worthless. They are no guarantee of good health or sound temperament, and they know it. They're laughing at the consumer every time that they say that this dog comes with papers, quote-unquote papers.
Yeah, what papers? You know, there's a bad joke there. Carol? 10 seconds.
I was going to say the papers aren't worth the kind of paper you use to wipe yourself with.
Okay, well, you said it. I didn't. All right. Back with me once again, along with Foxy Girl, is my fantastic animal-loving panel. Wayne Pacelli, Chief Executive Officer of the Humane Society of the United States. Carol Davis, actress, animal advocate, and author of The Diary of Jinky, Dog of a Hollywood Wife. And Bill Smith, the founder of Mainline Animal Rescue. Bill, for so long, animal advocates have been trying to get the message out that there is never, ever, ever a need to buy a dog, that you can find pure breeds with breed-specific rescue groups,
yes,
and a good percentage of shelter dogs, as Carol mentioned, are pure breeds.
Are purebred dogs.
Why is it that still so many people don't get it? Smart people, people with big incomes and fancy jobs, still go into stores and buy dogs. You know, it blows my mind.
It's just out of ignorance, and also I think that our government and our various agencies actually support them. I mean, with the USDA, what they do, they give them the stamp of approval. So if you go into almost every pet stop, or I'm sorry, pet store, that's the first thing that they tell you, that our facilities where we raise our puppies are USDA inspected. Well, the USDA does a horrible job enforcing the laws, and the Animal Welfare Act is just, a friend of mine calls them survival standards. I mean, they're ridiculous. 6 inches, if your viewers put their hand up, if they put their hands up 6 inches from their faces, that's how much a golden retriever, that's how much space a golden retriever has for 10 years in these places. It's 6 inches. It's the body length of the dog plus 6 inches.
And they're just bred over and over again.
Yes.
They're inseminated, for lack of a better word, over and over again, and they become pregnant, and they have these dogs and immediately impregnated over again.
Until the day they die, they never leave those cages.
And Carol Davis, don't believe what they say when you walk into a store. I mean, you're sold a bill of goods, literally told this wild story where they paint a picture. Ask to go there, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you go, they won't let you go there.
No, what you have to do when you walk into a pet store, first of all, you should never walk into any store that sells live animals, period. But if you absolutely have to get a dog that's a puppy, which we should change that also. I mean, people should look into adult dogs. But when you go in, you have to ask, hey, how many times was the mother bred? Can I go to the address where the dog was whelped? Mm-hmm. Can I see for myself? Can I talk to the breeder? Can I meet the mother of the dog? And they have lied to my face with an undercover camera. I walk into stores undercover. They have no idea who I am. I walk walk in and I say, I'm interested in this puppy, and I say, where is this dog bred? And they lie to my face, and they tell me the dog is bred in a home. And I say, what happens when that dog is retired? Oh, it goes back into the family. And then we send out investigators like HSUS does, and we're so happy that they do. And we see the truth, like you've seen in all these pictures. So the pet stores around the nation are lying to the public. We are fed up with it. And don't think that the internet is any better, because when you go and you look at the internet websites and you see these dogs romping in fields with poppies, this is baloney. It's very easy to take a picture of a dog in a green field, and out of the frame, what it is the pictures that you're seeing on this show. That's what's going on outside of the frame of that picture.
And not these pretty pictures, but the awful pictures of the dogs in the cages.